This is our part 2 of the big Benoit info drop. We have these like twice a year, so I like to split them up because they get really long. This one is more focused on the stuff that's coming. So crafting, inventory, what is going on with 4.7, what's the next big update, and what's happening for the rest of the year. If you want to see what happened before, which I know is less important to a lot of people, and get an idea of what they've been doing to lead up to these big systems, that one will be posted as well. Either way, thanks for joining. Let's get into this. We're talking about, I think, the social tools right now.
A bit, even in 25.
We do not using them yet.
So we do have a block list that we leverage now. It's simplistic, but because we didn't have the UI resources to do it completely. But moving into this strike team, right, covers all areas of social. So the plan is to go into 4 different pillars for it. So the first order of business is the Comlink app. So the Comlink app is like one of the oldest mobi-glass application we still have. It's kind of an eyesore because it's like from a dark, ghost of futures past. It's like from 2000, I want to say 1918 at this point, style-wise.
So old.
Very old technology. Still use the legacy, even UI framework that we had in the game. So we're completely eliminating that tab. We're bringing in forward the social application that we've shown at CitizenCon, so that design is moving forward. So replacing that, chat widget, right? So the entire chat experience in the game, we're completely overhauling this from the top at the moment. So we're right in the process of changing that.
They actually, the stuff that they said about this is pretty nice too. It's one of the bigger things that we've been looking for, which was like region-based chat. And actual tabs. Oops, this is the wrong one. Tabs for the location you're at, so you don't have to see what the stupid freaking guy in Nix who's complaining about his ship exploding while you're just trying to like talk to your friends about.
Giving you the power to make the chat your own. We're also adding chat tabs.
We're bringing back tabs.
We're bringing them back from other games. And this means that you can set up customizable views, filtered for any area of the game that you are interested in. And Ben?
I do wonder how these filters are going to work.
Hooking it up to the new systems. Revamping things like, social notifications. Currently in our mobi-glass, we only have one kind of level of notification, which is like ultra important. So
just everything.
To have a proper social experience, you need to have these like, system updates, system notifications, like someone joins, someone leaves, whatever. Looking at things like combat log and all the stuff that we've looked at in the social universe panel. So we're actively building this now. And that's going to be the first, we don't know, I'm not going to say which patch is going to land in. So our schedule is twofold. There's a content patch schedule and there's a feature schedule. The features need to have leeway because it depends on where they're going to land. But that's going to be the first update to social will be Comlink app, right? So rich party.
The fact that they don't, he can't tell us when it is, but he can tell us about other things is, I think, enough reason to think maybe this won't actually happen in 4.7, but it does seem like that's like they're talking about it in the loading screens, My bones are telling me it's got to be a 4.7 thing. Come on. You guys can do it.
Information, friend phone tracking, chat app. So we're working on this right now, actively.
For a 2026 release?
Yes. I mean, it's like you mentioned, it's kind of urgent at this point that we do something there.
Urgent. 4.7 is urgency. Benoit, do it. Give it to us, please. Hey, what is this ship in the background here, guys? What is this from? I don't recognize this.
This will automatically roll into the next... No, keep your dad here. Come on.
Jared has spent so many years asking them about this on the show. Vindication.
The next milestone for the social strike team is going to be looking at the party finder mechanic, right? Which basically allows you to advertise your party and then get people to join in. Like, let's say you're looking for a gunner and some FPS guys for your mission, then you can advertise that. If you're looking for, friends to go do a specific event, you can do that as well. And so Party Finder, we're hoping, is going to be a way for you to find friends on a given shard really rapidly. Also tie that in with your friendship and your contacts. So that will be we're building on the first release, which will have now friend and foe tracking into that. And so that's going to be super interesting.
That's part 2, which we also do have some idea of how that works here. We got a Party Finder here looking for
Ties your
group.
party. Give it an informative name like Ben has done here.
Space combat fun times.
And you could even set things like a specific contract that you want to play, or roles that you're looking to fill. Maybe you need gunners, engineers, pilots.
Meat shields.
Maybe that.
To be honest, I don't know how this is going to work out without any sort of reputation. So that the fact that we didn't hear any talk about that once again.
You could also limit the number of members. You might want to do some, again, specific content. So you want to do with a set number of members in the party, or you might want a tight-knit group. That's something that I would like very much. Maybe you just don't want to split the contract rewards, right? So once you have that information, then it's time to list your party.
And then people are going to be applying to
The game on the same shard. Then I can share my party with the Party Finder, and other people will want to join up. Now we're talking. But I'm curious.
So that's going to be the phase 2 of these social updates they're working on this year.
It's the second system we want to bring in. And then obviously number 3 of 4,
catch you later, Diz.
is the
Have a good
org
one.
system. And so another system we want to bring in. And then obviously number 3 of 4, right, is the org system. And so in that space, we're taking the orgs on the website from 2013 and we're moving them completely. Obviously, the technology we used to build that in 2013 are obsolete. It's a really old system. So we're bringing all of this data back into a game service to manage orgs, to surface that, obviously, game side. So now have org management screens, have your organization chat in the game, and then actually be able to create your organization from the game as well as surface it outside. So that's like, okay, now orgs are in the game. That's the first.
That's the whole name, and then the org.
Yeah, exactly. And this will probably. I mean, we're still having internal discussions about how that surfaces. In our game, nothing is always set in stones, but probably going to tie into FPS scanning radar. Additions to when you fly your ship to identify others with scanning, and so the orgs will be part of that. That's it. Visibility in game, chat in game for your orgs, actually having your organization communications.
Yeah, that's a whole nother series of conversations.
So that one is actually the one that I didn't think they would be able to get in this year. I was not thinking org stuff was the kind of thing that we were talking about this year, but you can see kind of the direction they want to go in with that here.
I can join multiple orgs, like the Buccaneers, the Corvette Club, or the Slam Truckers. But how will others see me in the verse if I have multiple choices? Surely I need to pick a banner.
So that's covered by something new called representing. And it's actually quite similar to the existing affiliation main status system on the website. So if you're in multiple orgs, you choose which one you want to represent.
This gets appended to the name while you're representing, so you can easily see who is in which org at a glance. So finally, on guild alignment, you are not locked in forever. You can switch at any time. However, that will put your alignment back at 0, so it's a big choice.
So
Yeah, it sounds like they're doing just basic org stuff. That's very possible. I don't think the guild alignment stuff is the sort of stuff we'd be seeing, but it does sound like he wants to have maybe not a calendar. I don't know. Like, what of this is he actually saying they'll be in? Just this, basically? Just the idea that you have the org page accessible, maybe? Not actually all of the org tools themselves.
Having your organization communications.
Yeah, that's a whole nother series of conversations.
It'll be released in pieces, of course.
Immersion versus running around and seeing it burns when I PvP.
Yeah.
Above people's heads. It's like,
sure.
So
let me solo her.
Just Fun fact, I got to write the original guidance at Blizzard for that back in 2004 for World of Warcraft. Yeah, I got to make the original list of, these are examples of really bad guild names.
Nice.
To train game masters way back when.
Cool.
Chat, you've been saying it. It's next on the list.
Yeah.
VoIP.
Yeah.
VoIP, if you're doing all this stuff, VoIP.
We're looking at VoIP.
Such an important element.
Sure.
Yes, please.
It's all part of it.
Graham tells me it's entirely your fault.
Graham is, I don't want to say it.
Graham did not say that. He heavily implied it, though.
No.
Graham is more savvy than I am. He knew not to say it outright.
Yeah. That's right. We love him. But he's wrong. No, but okay, so VoIP, we're doing improvements there on the backend side of things. So VoIP is mainly, right now heavily affected by the shard size. So the original design for this was really made for the 100 servers. And so we haven't had a chance to go back there at all. As part of this work, this team is also going to look at the infrastructure for voice transmission.
I'm guessing you meant 100 player
and we're going
servers?
to try to make it scale to the proper thing. So one element that we're talking about on chat and comms is that we're probably going to be moving away from the server chat. So what the original global 600 player chat, and move into regional chats like a true MMO, so that it's tied to the region that you are. Maybe multiple channels for that, and so VoIP will also be affected by that because it also powers proximity chat, and so proximity voice. Sorry. So
Does he mean? Yeah, never mind.
So we're looking at voice transmission from the top to bottom. We're changing the whole.
I wonder what regions will be though. Is like a landing zone a region or a planet? A whole planetary system? How small will it get? It'd be nice if we could just make a room and then filter it based on the locations of people from that room. Like if you spend all your game time around a specific planet, or maybe you spend all of your game time hauling between two specific destinations, maybe you just want to see people who are chatting at those destinations. That'd be fun. That'd be nice.
The whole back end for this. I had to make it scale there.
What do you have against Baron's chat?
Baron's chat was dope.
Baron's chat was. I mean, apparently Baron's chat was so dope, we implemented it here and have had it for the last 10 years.
That's right. Correct.
So,
Correct.
sorry.
We're also out of this.
I'll be right
there's
back. Don't
also
get carried away with the chair.
Movement on player reporting for bad behavior. So not just blocking, which is, is something that we have now, but that we want to expand on, but also like player reporting for other players that are, either bad behavior, profanity in chat, things like that. Obviously, we don't at CIG don't have a large, moderation team in game. So we're going to need some automated help there that will come and clean up some of these elements. So we're trying to really tackle communications from the top there with that strike team.
So social, there's not ever losing an item. Shout out to gameplay engineering director Jens. That was his major one, and then
that was his coin.
that was his one. Didn't feel strongly enough to come on the show though.
No.
Jens.
Yeah.
I
Next
asked.
time. Next time we do a duo. Let's sign him up right now.
So not losing things.
Yeah.
Social tools. We'll throw VoIP in with social tools. essentially.
Chat, party finder, orgs
Yeah.
is what we're going in order.
As far as major quality of life, I want to ask you personally. I'm allowed to say things personally sometimes. I do it often on my live shows, and then get in trouble for it afterwards. Benoit, I want your personal thing. What is your big bugaboo? What is your big quality of life bugaboo? The thing.
So personal.
Yeah.
I've got 2. I've added 1.
Scope creep.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say for me, in terms of quality of life, I love to play the game in a kind of a larger
The chair thinks little of you.
setup. So I have a kind of a flight seat that I like to operate to play the game, and this thing has roughly 13 devices connected to the game. Managing bindings is literally the worst. And so that's my pet peeve. If
I'm about to step into that world, and I can already see rage in my future.
you need to have like a kind of almost a common order for the devices on your machine, sharing these profiles is very difficult. Being able to bind onto multiple devices, to really benefit from that. Being able to bind on multiple, like the same action on multiple devices, for me is super key, right? So that would be my absolute personal thing, quality of life to solve, would be device handling in general.
And you're announcing you've created a hero strike team for this.
No, I wish I could just do that, but it'd be cool,
So that's not something coming soon.
Well, there is work being done on the control systems, right? But not that I could say it's coming soon to Star Citizen. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of work there.
And while you're at, while you're at, it'd be nice if it stored them and saved them.
Exactly.
Having a system for actually configuring that made sense and whatever, that's all great and whatever. But if I got to redo it every patch,
Yeah, I know.
so
Saving them, cloud save across machines would be great, right? Yeah, exactly.
talk dirty to me, Benoit.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where like I do maintain a couple of rigs at CIG, and people are always changing bindings. But the problem is I can't reapply my bindings because it's not the system anyway.
So there are sim pits in the office. There's sim pits in just about every office at this point, aren't there?
Yes.
Yeah. And Benoit is as if he didn't have enough to do. It's his little pet project. He's intricately involved in them. It's every time I come by and he's at a sim pit, I'm like, you have more important things to do. He's like, and it's always like, somebody change my bindings. Sorry, Pete. I needed the emphasis on it. It's just the number of times I've walked past this man who it's just like, so
I know.
yes.
I mean, it's because Yogi and I always are fighting against what the best binding is. Mine is clearly better, but
Yogi's a
So we'll decide
DCS
that at some
vet.
point. We'll just fix the
He probably dreams about key bindings.
binding system so that we don't have to argue. Just load the one you want.
And you had a second one.
So my second one for inside the game is that I've always found in general like like mission chains is a thing that I feel our gameplay is always one dimensional, right? Like you do a thing, you finish it. Missions, I know of things, right? I know we're working on an updated mission system.
You're talking about the limitations of the existing missions.
The
You're not
limitations.
talking about the quality of the work of the people that are working on these things.
Yeah.
You're talking about the tools that they have to
The
work
system around it doesn't allow us to do these massive quest chains, right? And I think that for me would be a huge quality of life because you could go onto a long adventure that takes you across multiple things. And so
Elliot Maltby was about to be on the corner of the building.
I know,
with
he's
a high-powered
calling me
rifle.
right now.
You're talking about the tools that our mission
To enable
is
these
available.
guys. Exactly. So I know we are working on an updated way to make missions that is a lot more scalable for that, right? And for me, that's like a big quality of life because I feel you can go on a longer adventure, and I think that's a big quality of life overall.
Okay. I think I know that's one that a lot of people would comment on. I mean, what they're doing within the tool set that they've had for so long.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about a little bit of why that. Well, maybe not why,
Sure.
but we can acknowledge. We can acknowledge that the tool set that was originally developed was not robust enough. It was not in line with the directions of a proper MMO.
Right.
It's no. Trying to decide how candid I want to be here and whatnot. It's a mission system. It's a mission system that can't give you a reward for doing something. We built the first version of the mission system where you do a thing, you achieve a goal, and we can't hand you a thing.
Right.
In your and that it's.
You literally have to go to your freight
I'll
elevator.
just use that simple example as a coloring of the limitations of the existing mission system for however that was built and why that was built and who that was built and everything. we've made changes internally to fix it. We've made changes internally to adjust it, to replace it. It's currently underway. What they've managed to do with the limitations has been stellar. I was just seeing stats about this, the event that's on right now. The event that's on right now, built with the existing system, built with the limitations, has our highest concurrency in the last 2 years outside of an Invictus or an IAE. So it's like they're doing tremendous work. Yes. They're doing tremendous work with the tools that they have.
Yes.
We've got to unlock those tools.
That's exactly right.
We've got to unlock the tools for them.
That's, for me, that's the quality of life update.
Because if they can do this with that,
yeah,
imagine what they could do if they could actually chain these things together and
Dude,
segment them off.
Oh gosh, chained missions is like narrative space-based missions. Listen, that's why I am always excited for these space RPGs. As much as I enjoy missions that are like flying spaceships around, the idea of taking a mission that is like these really good fantasy-based missions you'll find in a good game like Red Dead Redemption or Witcher 3 or Expedition or like all of the great RPGs you think of, but being able to experience those same types and of narratives and experiences and features, but including I don't know, zero-G movement, including the rush of like, is there oxygen or not? Is the room vacuumed? Is there enough heat? Can you find food? Like all of the complications of space with those things does not happen very much in gaming. And you don't really get into that until you start getting these more chained up narrative-based missions. We used to have a really nice one. Remember the one with Tisha Pacheco? That one was pretty cool because the game would also give somebody else a counter mission to come and stop you from doing what she had told you to do. That was a crazy mission. I like that one. So I cannot wait to have more of these, but from this to contract reward sharing to reputation sharing, all that kind of stuff I think is all locked behind their mission system V2, which has been on the monthly reports a couple times over the last year, but has, much like the transport refactor, it was on the page. I kid you not, guys. I'm not making this up. Look at this. Roadmap roundup transit refactor. You probably could find, this is, I'm pretty sure, the big roadmap roundup where they announced 4.0 going up. Both the mission and the transit system refactors were added for 4.0. Also, so was engineering all the way down here, which didn't end up happening until later. And solar bursts, wherever those are. But these two, so important, and we're still waiting for them. But that's what he's talking about here. And I think that's where we start seeing more of this stuff.
Could actually chain these things together and segment them off and have one continue after another and stuff like this. So
exactly. And tie into reputation, economy, so that it actually is one big loop, right?
All right.
Cool.
Now that I've saved your life from LA Malt be killing you. Let's talk about some features currently in development.
Sure.
Crafting.
Yeah.
Tech preview just happened recently. How's that going?
Good, actually. I mean, I don't want to say surprisingly good because the team did amazing work on it, but it's been going super well. I mean, there's a lot of work left, right? But I think that we got what we needed from the tech preview, and it wasn't a complete meltdown, which is always a good thing. But the team is working really hard to try to hit potentially a patch soon with crafting, which I really believe that crafting is such a big step for Star Citizen as a whole. It's just it will be a different game with the crafting system in place, and so the work that those teams are doing right now to bring this to life is incredible. I think that we're leveraging the technology that we have to be able to create runtime items with different properties and things like that. And so far the first tech preview has been surprisingly solid and a success, I would say. And so now we're riding the coattails of that tech preview to try to see for a launch window for crafting.
And you can't have crafting without the inventory rework.
Correct. That's right.
And I rarely ask a question I don't know the answer to already. The inventory rework is in the same tech preview, right?
I don't think it was.
Because if you can't,
was not.
so you can't have crafting without the inventory rework, but the tech preview for crafting doesn't have.
Technically,
Definitely
it
thought.
can be.
It would just be
Definitely
really
thought that the inventory was going to come with that. Because I was of the expectation we were going to see the inventory with the crafting preview in December, but that didn't end up happening. And then we didn't get it with this drop of the crafting feature. But yeah, there's no way they're going to launch crafting without the new inventory. It's going to be a mess.
Exactly. It's more from a game design point of view. But the inventory work is going really well. I mean, some of the people have been reposting screens recently on the original concept, right? That was shown. I mean, it's starting to look like that. So that's really good.
When does that go into tech preview?
We're hoping very soon because like at this point, every version that I've seen is fully functional. And so we
Right
just
now.
really want to solve one thing. This is one, and you say quality of life, like if I have a third one to add to my list, right? The speed of rendering of icons.
Give me now. Please give me the inventory today. Tech preview today. Now. I didn't know I would be this desperate for an inventory. Probably 18 months ago, I didn't really care that much. But oh boy, how much has changed since then. Yeah, inventory is up there. Social apps, inventory, persistence. Those three things. Oh my God. Please,
in the
Benoit.
inventory, right? And so, like right now, you open your inventory, and there's always a moment where it's rendering RTT, like the render to texture icons for each of those. Now, in case you don't know, this is a full 3D scene that gets rendered flat right there. Like we have versions of this in previous concepts where it's full 3D. It's super nice, but
Takes forever to load.
the user experience is not great, right? And no matter the amount of work we're going to put on the UI and the functionality of inventory, the speed of the UI is really a thing that we need to improve. And so that's the part that we're still iterating on now. We've done massive improvements, but there's still, we need to.
I'm glad they're
we
doing
need to
that.
dial-
It would suck to get the new inventory and then it still takes as long to load. It would just feel just as janky if it was just as bad at loading. I'm glad that's a focus for them.
that in perfectly because that's the part we really want to solve.
But you feel good about it.
I feel good about it. Yeah, absolutely.
You feel good enough to say 4.7 in March?
I think so.
Oh,
Don't put the camera when he says that. You got to put the camera on him. No, you look at
so
the
much
camera.
for no
You
dates.
say inventory.
I think inventory is going to be in 4.7. I think so.
Okay.
See, that you can run with, right? That's more for sure than we heard Highlander say about the game getting a wipe. You can take this and run with it. That's a whole different kind of statement. And we're going to run with it. Benoit said it.
You're going to put the small text after this, right?
No, this is
No.
live. this is live, baby. No small text. And so, if inventory rework is 4.7, I'm not going to push you on crafting. It's a super complicated thing or whatever. But
And the teams are working really hard for that launch window if they can make it.
for that launch window,
We're pushing.
They're
really
working
hard
hard
for
for
that
it.
launch window.
We'll see.
you're pushing really hard to get crafting in 4.7
Yes.
in March.
Yes.
Okay.
No promises.
No, pushing hard is fair. Pushing hard is fair, and it's in line with what I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen. So I won't correct you on that or whatever.
Now we don't know
you're
what
being-
surprises are ahead. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So keep tech previewing.
Keep tech previewing. Exactly.
Yep. And for your part, keep logging into the tech previews and keep testing.
Yes.
I cannot stress this enough. The more
Yeah, I think this is why they've got more people in
folks are on those
Evocati.
things,
They just
the
want to
more
get,
likely
like
we
they're
are
going to use the
be
tech
able to
preview more
deliver.
often, and so they
feedback
really want more
is
people
really
on it
key.
now.
Yeah.
Most of the feedback's okay. Some of it's trash, to be completely honest. Small amount of it. It's just what?
Squadron will be on console.
Hey,
It is
You
what
can
it
bank
is.
on that.
Canada goes both ways. How's instancing going?
Very good, actually. We actually had a summit this week about instancing, about getting all of the levels set up to support it. At this point, so maybe I can do a quick recap on what we've discussed in instancing before. So we talked about server meshing, right? So instancing is basically an additional system on top of server meshing, which allows us to take an area of space and give it to a server in the mesh to manage, right? Doesn't matter which one. The geographical, if I want, the spatial position of this thing doesn't matter, right? So for example, when you go to your hangar right now, that is an instance, right? So what we're doing is we're taking this system that manages and we're making a true instance manager with it. So we currently have the backend service completed for this. And so what that provides is the mechanism for creating an instance that that is associated with you or your party, and having rules for this instance is made for how many players, enforcing player caps and party caps for that instance, managing the life cycle of the instance. So hey, we want
Bro, imagine getting locked out of like showing up in a bar on Levski because the person walking right in front of you was the last one allowed inside of the instance player cap. I hope that kind of stuff doesn't happen.
That's dated now, but like your molten core instance lives for 10 days, right? So the instance manager is in charge of doing that. So that system's in place now, and so the teams are currently working at how the entrance to the instance is going to work, right? So, well, we know how it's going to work, but like how it ties into level. So level designers put in an entranceway.
Right.
At what point are you crossing the boundary? What brings you to the instance? What brings you out? Transport is a requirement for instancing, so just ties into all the discussion we just had. Like transit cannot bring you to an instance, but transport can.
Okay.
So basically we want to power that up there. So you can imagine an area of space that you walk into through a SAS or an elevator or a transit train. And when you come out, you're in the instance, but you don't even see...
You never see the loading screen.
Demarcations, exactly. Now you're inside the instance, you play inside the instance, you can gather items, inventories, whatever, boss fights, etc. And then you can exit through another transit link, and that's it, you're back in the world.
So if we do this right, you should never be aware that you're doing it. We might have to put some kind of indicator on there because of like raid locks or whatever. We talked about municipal works,
Correct.
And like this. So there might have to be some UI stuff that to tell you to.
Yeah, some screens will show you like, oh, you can't enter this because
But from
cap, or
There's going to be so much nuance that defines whether or not this is a successful implementation that it's hard to even talk about it right now till we see it.
an experience. We're not. It's. There's no load screen. There's no. Hold on, please wait. You're transferring you to.
Right.
Whatever. Like you see, it's just you're going to go and suddenly the world around you is going to melt away, and you will be in a section of the universe that is dedicated entirely to you and your party.
Exactly, to play it, right? And then, we're also talking about at the moment how the instance manager responds to the mission system, because we might want to be able to change what level you're going into when you pass the threshold or things like that. And so, or the access rights, right? So if you think back, man, I keep going back to WoW. This sucks, but whatever. In the good old WoW days, you need to do lower Blackrock Spire. And at some point, someone has a key. That's the requirement that unlocks upper Blackrock Spire. Yeah. Well, we're thinking about mechanics in that vein that allow the mission system to lock or unlock or the access rights to an instance. And so all of this is currently being managed, but it's going really well. Most of the networking capabilities that we needed have been added already. So one of them is that currently when you go to your instance, the way the server actually tracks that is we put a flag on your character that enables you to stream in your hangar and actually view your hangar when you go there, and we remove that flag when you leave it or when you go elsewhere when the hangar is removed. And so in the code up to now, we only had the ability for a single one of those on your character, so we can only give you access to one instance, but we need to be able to give you access to multiple instances, because we might have areas of transit that cross like one instance to another instance, things like that. We're going a bit deep with this, but at the moment, those mechanics
If Exhibit
are
made
ready.
instances.
So the networking bit is done. So now we're really about crafting the first experience that we want to do with instancing.
And the first instance content will be Siege of Orison. We announced that.
Redux.
Siege of Origin Redux. Ooh, c'est en France.
Yeah.
Right. That's scheduled to come online. We talked about it during CitizenCon Direct. That's one of the content drops that are scheduled for this year.
Yeah.
Basically, everything we've been talking more about a schedule than I probably intended at the beginning of this thing. But everything you saw
let's talk about stuff.
Sorry, everything that you saw at CitizenCon Direct last year is scheduled for 2026. Mm-hmm. So, and we announced at the beginning of the year with the first ISC that we've now moved to a bi-monthly. That's once every 2 months. For those who like homonyms, I'm not above recycling a joke. Content thing. So if you know the first one was in January, we've already stated the second one's in March. The third one will be in May. There's always a patch in May for very important reasons. Mm-hmm. So forth and so forth. So
it's our ironclad patch. We'll
it's one
call
of those
it.
things where when you look at the content for CitizenCon Direct, you can start to reverse engineer where things go. I'm not going to tell you.
So Rock Cracker always looked like it was going to be the first big thing we got. The second big thing we get, I think, is going to be the municipal works. That makes the most sense. Third big thing likely is going to be the planet. Fourth big thing, tactical strike groups. I don't remember if there was anything else in there, but this is what CitizenCon should be. It should be what the next year is about, and some updates on the major direction and design of things overall. And I like that. I hope they can follow through with it.
I'm saying you've got the tools. You've got the tools. You can pretty much kind of gather where everything is going to be. And I'd like to see your schedules. And that's just content. That's just the content stuff, because that's really what we talked about at Citizen.
I can tell you, from being with the team this week, working on instancing, everybody's like super stoked. Like it's like the energy is really high on like, oh man, how you enter it, how you exit it, what gameplay is going to be in it. There's also a big piece of this, which is like some designers, in this case, can design an experience that is repeatable. Most of the content we've produced this year was, there's a PvE experience for it, but it's fundamentally in a PvP zone. So that is giving them those tools to make something that's fun and repeatable as an experience. Mm. And I just, the energy is really good.
Nope. Now chat's like, Squadron 42, whatever. I ain't talking about Squadron 42. I made one very plain spoken, reasonable comment about Squadron 42 the last time we got together, and it got press articles. So I ain't saying nothing. I'm talking about Star Citizen.
Oh my God. For those who don't know, let's hold on. Squadron 42 delay. Let's see what comes up the next time. If you if you search Squadron 42 delay, the first thing that comes up is literally his quote. Where's he said something along the lines of, it's expected to be coming out. They stated the reason for the delay is, wait, what is this? What is this? What is this? No, this is the wrong year. 2024. Never mind, it's not the first thing that comes up. Here it is. It's the second thing that comes up. But they bring up basically, Jared sitting down with Benoit saying that he is not sure if the studio will meet the 2026 target. And this got so much press. People were going, Star Citizen is delayed. It's never releasing. Like, people were referencing the wrong game after this. It was so funny. Honestly, Jared, you should probably do it just because it causes a lot of funny freaking stories. But yeah, that was quite the situation. That's what he's referring to when he says this.
About Squadron 42 the last time we got together, and it got press articles. So I ain't saying nothing. I'm talking about Star Citizen. Star Citizen. Star Citizen.
Where we at?
I want to inject something.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You're right. Siege of Orison is before Municipal Works. Absolutely. Yeah, it's probably Siege of Orison and then Nyx and then Municipal Works. And then the other big thing.
I want to inject something.
Okay, let's go.
Something we haven't talked about. It came from the chat. It came from the chat. Regional servers.
Yeah.
Regional servers. we have never had a conversation
About
in
regions.
any way,
Sure.
shape, or form about regional servers. It was there in the chat and whatnot. I think I'm going to put you on the spot.
What
here.
are they asking?
It just says regional servers when. Just what can we do to help the people who play in the various regions of the world
Sure.
have a better experience? Is that the answer? Is regional? I guess what I'm asking is regional servers the answer, or is there or are we going towards something else different that I've literally never asked you about?
Well, I don't know in this case if they're asking for what I think they are, but let's talk about regions.
Okay.
So we already have regions, right? So when you play the game, you can pick one of the global availability regions that we service. So obviously, the U.S., North America is one. The Europe is one. We have East Asia, Australia. I forget the other ones, but I think we have another one. So typically, we look at user data, right? And if an area reaches critical mass, right, at some point, then it's worth it to deploy shards there. So, and have shards hosted in that region. So we do it like between US and EU. Obviously, they share our common backend. So your inventory system is hosted in one central area, but then the actual game servers you're playing on for latency reasons is going to be closer to your area. Right now, we are revisiting our region kind of distribution for a couple of reasons. Like we've done some pretty large, without naming any details here, but we're in the process of doing some pretty large migrations, in how we host the game. So there's, even if it's a bit transparent, there is a lot of changes happening there. And so we are revisiting our region map kind of at the moment. But typically the way that we've done this is we look at player data, and if we reach critical mass in an area, then it's worth it to start deploying some shards there.
I do want to know
more than one. Right.
That's what I want to know. How many shards per region is the big question for me.
Right, because deploying one shard in one area is problematic because, there are cases
speeding it
where
up a
a shard
bit.
goes into trouble for some reason, and before a hotfix actually deploy, that shard is no longer usable. So we need to have, it needs a
proper
critical mass to be able to go there. Yeah, exactly, a proper cluster size to be able to get there.
And the short version of that is you're currently undergoing conversations about where.
Yeah, we're looking at that because we've done some changes, so we have access to more regions than we used to. So we're looking at that, but I can't promise any changes. Again, it's completely based on player using the service.
So during the keybind use conversation, every once in a while I'll check Teams just to see if I still have a job during the shows. Which is another joke I get accused of making quite often and repeatedly, but it isn't a joke. I really do scroll and check. Jeffrey Prees, I had an R there. Bearded
CIG?
Didn't mean to add a.
What did Bearded CIG say?
He sent me a Jira for keybind use, exporting custom keybinds. XML doesn't export all settings.
2013 or what?
But he's just sending me Jiras now. I don't know what you think I'm going to do with this, but thank you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Bearded.
Thanks, Bearded. I haven't talked to Jeff in a while.
That's actually a guy we should talk about if we were going to reevaluate regions.
You want
Maybe get him on the show next.
You want to talk about Jeff? Let's talk about Jeff. He can't do anything about it. We know he's watching.
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you think is hiding behind that beard?
I don't know.
We're in the final stretch. We're in the final stretch. We only have a handful of topics.
He does have a big beard. That's not a joke. He's not called Bearded for anything.
VR kind of came out of. I mean, it's one of those things we've been talking about it.
Sure.
We talk about it here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. We've talked about a lot of things over the years. I mean, we've talked about a lot of things.
I mean, we used to have VR in 2014. I say a bit air quotes. Air quotes.
That's like saying I'm a baseball player because I've played. I played a couple of Little League games. Let's look out for
a long time ago.
A long time ago.
I think it was Oculus Dev Kit 1.
Yes.
This is what was supported at the time.
Yes.
Anyway.
And I used it for 45 minutes and ended up in the fetal position for the next 3 hours. VR is not for me. I want to preface this by saying VR is not for me. But it's for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of people. And at the end of last year, surprise, a not a fully blown or fully cooked, fully developed feature like we would normally refer to them. How do we refer to it? An experimental feature of VR.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? What's going on? And do it without saying the word Santa, Sylvan.
No, sure. Yeah. Well, there are a lot of developers at CIG that really like immersive experience and work, right? And so there's a contingent of developers, also one specific one, that have been really trying to get the Star Engine to properly support VR. And so, as an experiment and to build that, these guys, and I'm gonna, Sylvan in specific, has been really hard to try to get Star Engine to work in VR. Experimented with multiple different approaches, over the last couple of months. Settled on the OpenXR approach, and was actually able, through his own passion and then support from his other colleagues, right, to get stuff fixed so that we could support VR in specific cases. And so that's how we decided at some point, hey, you know what, like, this is actually pretty cool, let's release it, right? Like, we have a unique chance at CIG to be able to work on a custom engine and working on custom technology. And so, encouraging that effort, we decided to release an experimental mode to see, hey, let's see if people like it. And the response has been pretty impressive overall. I think that the results that we're able to get in VR are a testament to some of the decisions over the years that were taken and how the game has been made. And so there's a lot of little things that just shine when you now put the VR headset on that, maybe if you're playing just on a PC, you're not going to appreciate as much. But, I'm going to go Chris Roberts here, but Chris, always insisted on, taking the difficult approaches to build certain features, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that
really
are like, we could have done simpler on this one. But we did the hard road and we actually delivered it. And so now when you put the VR headset on, well, you've got reverse IK in the seat, right? And it's the kind of thing that now all these decisions have paid off in this VR.
It was a pain in the ass in 2017.
Yeah.
When poor Evo was on it, and now so many years later, it's like, that part was plug and play because of it.
Yeah, and I mean, even internally, the arrival of VR, even before the experimental mode was shipped, was tremendous. Like, I spent a couple of hours here around our VR rigs next to my sim rigs with the ship team going like, I want to see my ship in VR. Let's go. And then because designing for VR is a bit different, like sense of space changes and whatever. So that's really truly an experimental mode that we've been pushing. Obviously, there's a lot more people around.
Can say, guys, I have been working on a video for you about VR for a little while now, and while I have put in, kid you not, more effort than you would think onto this video, it is at a point where I still am not sure if it is truly representative of what you will get from the experience. So I am doing everything I can to validate that and to work together with various companies to try and get the right footage, but I am working on getting a but yeah, ow Jesus Christ.
Ooh, that was a good one.
You can't all do it at the same time or else she's only gonna shoot once. She only has finite bullets per stream, y'all.
Them out and get this there, but I think that this is a testament to kind of the technical framework that we have at CIG that allows that kind of effort to not go unnoticed and kind of show up in the game.
Chat's currently arguing about whether VR is a low priority or high priority and stuff like this.
The priority at this point doesn't matter because it's an experimental mode.
Yep.
It's a bit like eye tracking. It's a bit like all of these side projects, right? Like head tracking, eye tracking.
It's not an initiative on the same scale as the inventory rework or as crafting.
Exactly.
It's not a full initiative. It has not taken a priority over something else.
Exactly.
I've only got a couple more questions for you, and they're kind of the big ones. And yes, people, it's about the thing that you want us to talk about. We're saving it for the end. I've been doing this for a while. But I want to take a few questions from the chat right now before we get to it, because we're actually doing okay on time here.
All right.
Is the inventory rework, is it just UI, or will it actually apply any additional functionality to stacking and unstacking and stuff like that?
There's additional functionality, but obviously the big of the groundwork was the UI, usability. But if you look at the mock-ups, right, you also see equipment. So it's not just inventory, it's actually equipment plus assignment on your character. So the paper doll approach. There's also some other elements like proximity inventories that are part of that, which are pretty large functionality-wise.
Hold on, I'll give you guys a quick look at what this looks like. We've gone over some of the other features. This is a big one. This is a biggie. Like my man Jess Game 1945. It's an oldie but a goodie. The inventory's been around for as long as games. Well, maybe not that long, but it's been around longer than I have. And Star Citizen's taken a while at theirs, but here is a quick look at what they've been working on.
And we're working on these filters being multi-purpose. What I mean by that is, at the moment, filters, you click them once and it means I want to see these items. If you were to click them twice, it would hide that category of item. Now, there's a lot of people with freight elevators full of decorations they don't really care about at the time, so they can just hide all the decorations if they want to. Clear filters.
Matt Sully said, Mrs. Tomato, if you want more darts, we can hook you up. We can go bigger than that. I don't want to know. Yeah, they've got proximity looting here and inventory. You can see like they obviously it needs to call out the quality of the materials you're mining, the items you have, their charge percentage. You guys know that these items are going to be based on batteries. You're going to have to change the batteries out on the tools you have. So we'll have to be able to see that. You can stack stuff, obviously. It's talking about where things are equipped, how many of a certain things you have, the timers on things. There's a lot more functionality in this than there was in the inventory we had before, and obviously the stats.
Whoever it was crafted by, we have taken into consideration wear and tear with integrity and durability, and I suppose you know there's more than 3 stats on a weapon, so if you were to right click and details, you get the full view with the scroll bar, the attachments, description which can be expanded, and then the same
So yeah, that's what he's talking about when he's mentioning all this functionality and stuff coming in.
So some other elements like proximity inventories that are part of that, which are pretty large functionality-wise, and I think will have an impact. So it's not just UI. There's a lot more client architecture also. The way the UI pulls the data, caches the data, and displays it.
More Twitch drops. There will be more Twitch drops this year. Already in that. Yes to medical. Why didn't Levski mold situation have us rescuing NPCs with medical ships? We'll talk about that in 2 weeks when we've got Elliot and Torsten on the show here. We'll talk about that whole event and stuff. So we'll save that question for them so they can speak about their own work. When Nix won this year.
Yeah.
That's something that got me in trouble. One thing I hope, and I got articles. CRG spokesperson says he hopes this will be whatever. I'm like, oh yeah. Let's see. There was one more. There was one more. I can't find it. There was one more question I want to sneak in before the questions that are already on here. All right. This section is called Final Hot Seat Stuff.
I just read Final Hot Stuff.
You missed a word. Things that are happening in the game today. Economy exploits. And if you're watching the show and you're wondering why I'm talking about economy exploits, it's because I'm going to get to the next question that you've got, the question you've had the whole time. So,
yeah,
let's talk about the economy exploits.
Sure.
What's happening?
There are exploits.
Be better.
Well, so in terms of the economy in general, right? There's a couple. I think we're up to 7 or 8 right now. So first of all, we have a strike team on this at the moment, right? Looking at all these different things. There's a couple of ways in which there's been potentially duping, ways to earn rewards they're not supposed to have.
I think we're beyond potentially.
No. Well, yeah.
Okay, fair.
And so we're looking at all these exploit vectors, right, to fix them. Obviously, that needs to be prioritized. The big conversation that was spawned from that is like, we're a game in development, but we're also delivering a live service, right? And so we don't have a framework for this in that internally. When we get exploit reports, we don't necessarily automatically prioritize them. So the conversation that was spawned was like, okay, well, there are going to be exploits, right? Every game has a series of exploits for its entirety of its life, right? No game has no exploits. And so the question is more, how do you respond for it, right? And so historically, exploits have always taken a lower priority to ongoing development, right?
I'm going to jump in. You're 10 switching between past and present here. I want to be clear. You're talking about the past right now.
The past.
He's 10 switching a couple of times. It makes it sound like he's talking about today. No. It's like this. We're talking about the past, guys.
So in the past, right, exploits would fall. There'd be bugs like any other, right? Depending on the severity, sometimes they got escalated, but we didn't have a process for this. So now the conversation is about when we do get an exploit report, how do we deal with it? Like, how do we escalate it? How do we
just ignore it completely?
How do we deal with it, right? And so for the current ongoing exploits that we know about that have a damaging effect on the economy, currently we're dealing with them the same way we've dealt with the other hero strike teams. And so we're looking at each one of them and confirming the fixes, right? Because sometimes, you fix an exploit, there's a second vector right away. So those are complicated fixes sometimes. So we're dealing with these things right away. But the big thing that also this puts in light is that even a minor exploit at the moment has a very large effect on the economy because there are many limits that are not in place. And so at the moment, we're also looking at overall economy design and limits around, selling, inventory capacity, exchange limits, ongoing active tracking of player trades and or large purchases, things like that. Now, we want to make clear that we want the economy to be fun and, movable, but we also need some protectionism behind it. And so that's what we're looking at the moment. Now, I don't have all the solutions. I didn't write them out or show them out, but this is the spirit that we're in at the moment on these economy exploits.
You're being very diplomatic about something. I want to point out some of the struggle with talking about this.
Yeah.
We can't
tell you how we're going to fix it.
We can't tell you. We can't tell people what we're doing.
Yes.
Because every single. Let's back this up a bit. So an exploit exists. Whatever timeline you want. We'll just make it simple. We'll make it real simple and do days for the point of conversation here. Exploit exists on day 0. On day 1, it comes to our attention. By day 2, we figured out what's causing it. We cause it. On day 3, we could fix it potentially, depending on the severity link. But we don't automatically do that because there's stuff to be learned by leaving it. In certain cases, we find more information out about who's doing it. We find where it's coming from. About other vectors, we found like any bug. Okay, we found this cause, but sometimes there's 5 other causes for every bug. So you find this cause of an exploit, but maybe there's 4 other causes for that same exploit. And if we patch this one up right now, we may hide the other ones and we won't discover them for much later. It's like this. There's this incredible dance that I get to sit here and watch.
Sure.
I get to sit here and watch you guys do. Occasionally, I speak up with a thing, and you're very kind to humor me here and there from time to time. But I get to watch you and the player experience team and your programmers and everybody involved do this amazing dance of finding these things and researching these things and working out how they happen. And we can't. It's one of those things. We come here on a show and I want to talk about it. We were talking about this last night, but we can't go through all the methodologies. No. We can't discuss all solutions because then knowledge is power. And if they know what we're doing, then they can run around it. It's this incredible dance that is frustrating, and it can often look like we're sitting on our hands doing absolutely nothing.
That's right.
And that's an unfortunate, frustrating side effect of the proper way to do this.
Yeah. Well, every time it touches security, anti-cheat, economy, exploits, it falls in that. Yeah. It's going to fall into that area where we can't be as transparent as we'd like to be.
And they're saying it in chat now, and they're not wrong. Like cheats and exploits have sunk so many games.
Yeah.
We have to get a hold on them. We have to get a handle on them. We have to fix them. And again, but it's this dance. It can't always be right away.
Correct.
It can't. At least that's one of the things that Alpha affords us. We take the time to make sure that we do it right. Take the time to make sure we research. Take the time that we're actually finding all the bad actors and blah blah blah. It's just at the same time, it's annoying because you want to go to Reddit, you want to go to Spectrum, you want to go to Twitter or whatnot, and just scream, "We're on it, we're doing it, whatever." But you can't tip your hat anything. You can't. It's because every.
Well, I put my eyes emoji sometimes on stuff on Spectrum. Just
you can't say we're actively chasing this one because then the people who are using it scatter and we don't find them. It's like this.
Exactly.
So it's one of the hardest aspects of game development communication, especially for a project like us that prides itself on being as open as we are. People will be like, open development. I can't believe you're not telling us. That doesn't mean it's open. I'm like, open development means we're more open than any other company in the history of the medium. It doesn't mean we share every single thing, every single moment the minute it comes out. I do sometimes and I get in trouble.
Not true. I want to know what is being had for breakfast by the devs in the morning. I need to know how the nutrition is being distributed.
But
that's our money.
It's really difficult.
It's a difficult balancing act for sure.
It's terrible because there's been so many moments when I want to go out and scream, "We got this. We're on it. We're doing this. It's fixed." But we just can't. You can't because it makes it harder. It makes it harder to do.
Well, yeah, and you're going to miss things. That's the main thing.
But
hey, can we flip seats for a second? Because you just grilled me for what? How long have we been going for now?
Almost 2 hours.
Yeah. I have one question that I want to switch seats for. You ready for it?
You want to ask me a question?
I want to ask you a question. Like grill you on one, at least one.
I can see you looking at your laptop like you got notes. All right. What do you
I have my note question right here.
What do you have for me, Benoit?
So is the battle cruiser actually happening? Is that thing actually going?
Whiplash.
Oh boy.
Just whiplash. What does that have to do with anything?
It's whiplash. Let's go.
Let me see if I'm being yelled at already.
Yeah, check this out. Do 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 do.
I'm not.
Where are you going, Jared?
I'm not actively being yelled at.
Good.
Yes, the battlecruiser is coming.
Yes.
It's a tried and true manufacturer. Not one of these new hotness manufacturers. One of the older manufacturers of verse.
Gotta be Anvil.
It sure. And I did say this last time, so this is not new information. The manufacturer thing is new information, but our big giant military combat themed event that we do every year around May is probably a pretty good time to expect it. And it will be and as we said before, it is our intention to make it the last concept we do. We made it through.
It's going to be rough. Honestly, that's going to be a rough concept release because we've already gone through the whole concept sales are no longer a thing. I even made a big video about it. So this is going to come out, and obviously it's going to be the whole, I thought concept sales weren't a thing anymore kind of thing. But it is nice that it'll be the last one. It's also going to be the kind of thing that I'm hoping they release after they've released the Squadron 42 release date, and they can be like, Squadron 42 is coming out in 3 months. Here is an Anvil battle cruiser. You buy this, you get, like, at least they could package it with like a special edition version of Squadron, because you know it's going to be hundreds of bucks, if not thousands. You know it's going to be a really bad look. You know a lot of people are going. It's going to get a lot of press outside of the Star Citizen community. I wish that it wouldn't happen, but it's going to happen. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think like they could at least have a game to announce alongside it. Yeah, they said it would be the last when they announced no new concept sales, but they also said like that they weren't gonna release everything that was shown at CitizenCon 2023 in the following year. They also didn't say there was going to be a wipe for 4.6. They also didn't say that there was a release date for Squadron 42 in 2020. But none of these things matter when the when the screaming matches online start. So the best they can do is work on the optics a little bit, so it comes off a bit better. It'll be bigger than the Javelin too. Yeah, I mean, is it going to be bigger than the Bengal is the question. So biggest ship we can probably own in the game. They just couldn't let the Javelin have it.
Without a concept, without a single concept promotion. We do not have a single concept promotion scheduled for 2026. Other than this battlecruiser, we don't have a single concept promotion scheduled for 2027. This will be the last one. It's an old Kickstarter thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So
It's happening.
it's happening. It's happening. We're going forward. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it now. But yeah. So, okay.
Is it big?
You got anything more? that it? You get your one out?
Is it big?
It's very big. It's very, very, very big.
That's all I got.
That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So,
That's all we get. It's
So-
big.
just sneak it right in there. Just piece of shit. That's my one for the show. All right, then fine. Wipe. Wipe.
We were doing so good.
Wipe. I held them off. Wipe.
Right. So, okay. We're not planning a wipe. We're planning.
Good night, everybody.
No way! I can't f***ing believe it! It's like logic prevails! Sorry.
We're planning. We're looking at targeted actions, right? But we're not looking at a wipe for the moment. And so we want to keep on rolling. First of all, there's some of the work we've discussed. Obviously, I can't share the details of what we're doing with.
They're gonna be like, Benoit said wipe on Star Citizen Live. There's gonna be one for like another month now. Is there a wipe coming in 4.7? Is there a wipe coming in 4.7? I heard there's a wipe coming in 4.7.
That needs to be completed. So for now, we're not intending a full blanket wipe at all.
No, this goes back to what we were saying before about the biggest quality of life thing. All this work going into long-term persistence and to item recovery V1 and stuff. It's about, and the freight elevator. It's about making sure you keep your stuff.
Yeah.
Making sure you keep your stuff. Making sure you keep your stuff. Making sure you keep your stuff. So we've got tools. We've got logs. We've got
A lot of logs.
We got a lot of logs. We got a
lot
lot
of
of information. A lot of information. So it is our intention to do a targeted correction
Correct.
to those areas that
Are
need it,
problematic. For that need.
and preserve as much of the gotten gains of the everyday Star Citizen as possible.
Exactly.
Nope. Too many words. Wipe confirmed.
So no blanket wipe.
That's right.
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
That's not what I heard.
So we've answered that. That's done.
No, it's a fucking wipe on the way. That's
What else you got?
Just hit me with a battlecruiser. Oh, I got a message. Hold on. Where's the ice cream type? Was the battlecruiser mentioned in SEL just now planned? Lol. Planned by somebody.
Whoa.
Yeah, Benoit, CTO. See,
All right.
do you get in trouble for that?
No comments. No comments about the size other than it's big. It's big. It's just big and it's cool and it is so damn cool. All right, that's it. Oh
Cool.
no,
Yeah.
one last question.
Yeah.
Tell me something we don't know about. Tell me something we should be excited about that we're not currently excited about.
That's fun.
Give us something nobody's expecting.
That's hard. You're putting me on the spot now.
I'm putting you on the spot, Mister. The batteries are coming.
Okay. Well, one thing we didn't talk about in detail that I could give background info on is Genesis.
He's like, something you should be real excited about is that we're going to do a progress wipe in 4.7. Then just end the episode.
Okay.
And Nix 1, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, we're obviously working on this. That's no surprise to anyone. But the one thing that I'm excited about is that we've kind of conjoined development on 3 separate things in order to ship the best Nix experience that we could offer, right? And so, obviously, Genesis is part of that, and the Planet Tech that's behind it. But also,
Phase 2.
the Starchitect work. And so,
Hey,
for those
phase
who don't know,
2.
Starchitect is a way for us to be.
I actually think Starchitect might be phase 3, one or the other. But that is nice to hear. So they are combining just context is always key. So they did a demonstration on Genesis here last year. But this is actually, if you look at the subtitle down there at the bottom, you can see phase 1 is the planets, the biomes, the planet tech, the stuff that we are excited for. Phase 2 is locations. This is where Ian came out and actually talked about how they were going to expand their location database using Starchitect. So that was phase 2 of Genesis. Genesis was 5 phases in total. Phase 3 was the AI advancements, how AI was going to better understand and move around the planet. Phase 4 being light and sound, ray tracing, global illumination, stuff like that. Phase 5 was the star audio additions, and phase 6 was natural dynamic weather. So it looks like they are trying to get phase 1 and 2 in there together, and I think it seems like he's talking about a third one. Let's see.
Smarter about building planets and the human populations that are on them. So settlements, buildings, distro centers, LZs, name it, right? So historically, we've placed that by hand. And so Starchitect is a way for us to give designers control over the planetary scale of how these are distributed. And that's a fairly fundamental change to how the game is made. And the third one is what we call the population control / population manager. So currently you have AIs in the game, right, that are sometimes hand placed, sometimes dynamically spawned. We've talked about
spawn like a
gazillion
crackhead just hitting the
times.
spawn button.
Yeah, which is my biggest pet peeve, by the way.
Apologies to
That's my trigger
crackheads.
point. If you want to trigger me in a meeting, just tell me there's another overspawn issue. But anyway, so population management and control is a third component of this. So I'm excited about this because as we're working towards Nix 1, we're aligning all those 3 things into one strike team to deliver that together.
Cool.
So
yeah, the worst part about the locations right now is how empty they are. They don't have character. They're not unique, really. They don't feel like they have reasons or cause. You can't even see them producing goods or consuming goods. So all that kind of stuff, especially with spawning NPCs and getting them doing things at these locations, is much better than just dropping in locations.
I'm excited about that because those are like 3 major development pieces that Star Citizen needs to scale that we're bringing in together. So for pop control, instead of having all these either hand-placed or dynamically spawned AIs in key areas, that's a system that will basically manage the server capacity of AI agents to be able to distribute them at the right place, but also spawn the right AIs for the right jobs, manage the priority of these spawn requests, all that stuff. And so it's such a much more scalable system that will allow us to really build up a dense universe than we've had before. So I'm excited about the fact that those 3 projects are part of the same kind of drive at the moment. That's the first thing I would say that you guys don't know about that we're going to bring together. The second one, there are some hints of this in the game already. So I know some of the techies look into the game client, try to find some stuff. I'm not going to go into more details about this, but we talked about sim rigs. We talked about how the experience in the sim rig is. So VR is a great thing if you have a sim rig, right? Obviously, having the headset on is such a more dense experience. We're also working at improving our peripheral support, so being able to feed information non-damaging information to peripheral manufacturers. So be able to enable them to make custom Star Citizen experience for the sim rigs. And also we're looking at,
Bro, becoming literally a honeypot for tech gaming. this game is. They're just getting all of the coolest little gadget workings so that if you're the kind of person who likes a techie gaming experience, love it.
Currently in the process of looking at motion and motion platform support for the game. And so I think that's something we haven't talked about specifically.
Motion platforms?
But I'm mega excited about it.
Opening up the API.
Opening up basically the motion systems to be able to leverage that, on the key elements. So I think that's something that I'm super excited about.
How am I ever gonna... All right, we're gonna have to put up a new stream goal. First we need a desk. But after that, we're gonna put up a stream goal for a full-on sim kit. I'm kidding. We probably should pay off our car first.
Because that's just another level.
There's that new Corsair keyboard that's got the Stream Deck built into it.
Oh, I need that, but on the left side.
So those would be my two.
Anything?
God, that'd be so nice on the left.
Player facing for in-game.
It's like literally. Can I just show you guys? If you look at this, is where this is my keyboard. This is my Stream Deck. Man, you can't even see that. If I could just have this be on the actual keyboard, that would be great because it's right there. That'd be great. But it's on the right side still.
Something. I know about something. We're treating this like it's a big thing. It's not. We just did the big thing. But spawning.
Oh yeah.
Changes to spawning.
Well, so we talked about spawn in the hangar, right? And so to build spawning hangar, we had to build a new workflow, right? To be able to determine, can we spawn you there? Is there a requirement for you spawning there, right? So the requirement in the case of spawning hangar is your hangar spawned, right? That's also extended to ships, right? But what we're trying to achieve, now I'm not promising this anywhere, but is spawn in place. And so we're trying to extend that workflow for spawn in place so that, you just log in the game and you spawn where you were. And so that's something that we're passionate about and we're trying to get in there. So
log in, log out,
bam on it.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Not a, you have a bed in a ship, you don't have a bed in a ship. Yeah. You just wherever you are, get out, get back in, come back right there.
Yeah. So. Surface of a planet, spawn in place. Yeah. As long as you can still spawn there. That's right. Yep. There's going to be rules and limitations, but we're looking into that.
Yeah, I feel like we really need to hear the nuance of how those rules and stuff will work, because oh boy, that's a big one. That's a whole video on its own.
That is also a big change for the game, to me.
Yes.
That's a huge change.
Yeah. Just
cool. I'm happy you raised that up. I was going to forget about it.
I've got you, baby. All right, and at that, we managed. It's 4:57. We're right there.
Hey, right on time.
What do they say at the end of Hot Ones? Tell everybody give everybody your socials. Tell everybody where they can find you. When you do next.
I mean, I guess here in however many months.
We're here until the heat death of the universe.
That's right.
Benoit, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you as always for coming back. We're doing these about every 6 months. It's what we agreed when we did this.
Kind
first
of a
one
rendezvous
about a year
now,
ago.
right?
Yeah,
it's a good rendezvous.
So we'll see you again sometime this summer.
Yeah,
probably.
Sure. Absolutely.
I just want to say, this is our first SCL back. It's actually our first SCL since IAE. We did the all ships Q&A, and then we didn't get to do a whole lot of SCLs last year because of a whole bunch of other changes that was going mostly in my life. We're gonna have a lot more SCLs this year. We got a group of like 4 in a row coming in like April, I think. Whatever. The chance to have somebody at your level and your involvement take the time out, come be here, answer quite literally any question I put you. You didn't beg off of anything. You didn't do this. So I spent the part giving the tech teams their props and the programmers their props and the strike team their props, and I want to sit here and give you your props. Thank you so much for being here. Far more than I would give Jens, who won't come on the show.
It's a rendezvous now. That's it.
I know.
I appreciate that.
I love the Jens.
I love coming here and chatting about Star Citizen. And if you ever meet me in a Bar Citizen, it's the same thing. So just do it live.
Thanks so much, guys. What is in the orange box? So that was at the beginning of the show on the Twitch version. It won't be on the YouTube version, but that's just toys. It has nothing to do with work. We were just nerding out a little bit at the beginning of the show. Thanks for watching, everybody. we're back next week with a behind the ships special on the next spacecraft making its way to the Star Citizen persistent universe. John Cruz in there, and Ben Curtis is in there, and Torsten Lyman is in there, and some other people, because I'm not really good with names, whatever. The second I started calling out names, I knew it was a mistake. Chris Danks is in there. So, who? Batu's in this one? Yeah. I filmed with Batu?
Yeah.
There's a Batu?
He's great. Wow, they really run together. Sorry,
Batu works at CIG.
That's
what?
next week. An exciting new spaceship Mon.
It's my brother's name.
Making its way to the persistent
My
universe
brother-in-law's
next week.
name.
In those little middle things, we talked about it in ISE. The big patches in January and March and May, it's like this, and then these interesting little content drops in the middle. So we're going to add a new ship in the middle of a patch drop, and for the first time in the history of our project, we'll see how that goes.
Let's do it.
Let's get it. There's a press article.
It should work.
So thanks for watching. I'm Jared. That's
Awesome.
Benoit. You're the amazing Star Citizen community. What are you doing with the cameras? Oh my God.
Somebody was having a lot switching around.
See you later, everybody. Bye.
Good one.
He has become one of the big faces of CIG at this point. Oh, Benoit, yeah, he has. Really just phenomenal story how that has all happened. Listen, I talked enough during all of this, so I am going to not talk anymore. I hope you enjoyed this look through of this. We do this all the time on the live stream if you're interested in joining us just to chat about stuff going on and look at the development and how it's progressing and what's coming up next. It's my favorite part of things to do.